I've been using these oscillating multi-tools for years now, and they're super handy. There's like 1,000 things you can do with these, but there's one little feature on them that I never realized, never saw, and never even heard of until just the other day when I stumbled across it. Right up here on the top of my rigid Job Max multi-tool, there's a little ring that does all of the hard work as far as attaching the different blades and attachments to the tool itself. This, I didn't realize, however, was one of 2 rings that come with this. When I noticed that, I wanted to look further into it. So if we take this off, and the way this one works is you just pull the little strap back and then crank it like that, and out goes the blade. And I noticed that right here, there's a little black ring, and I thought, is that detachable? And sure enough, it is. It's just magnetically held on there. And that's just a little adapter ring right on there. The other one just has this gray plate just like this, and that one actually holds most of the blades that I have just fine, but there's a few blades that I have that do not work with this. And I realized that this one has 2 sides to it as well. On the one side, you've got the 4 little holder pieces that are slightly offset from the outside. And then on the other side, you've got 4 more, and these ones are closer towards the center of it. And if you've looked at the different arbors of different blades, you can see why that is. Once I saw those different patterns on the rings and ring adapters, I thought, what kinds of patterns are out there for the different blades and accessories? So I've laid out in front of me quite a few of the different blades and accessories that I've got. I actually have a whole bunch more than this, but they mostly all fall into these categories. But if you look through here, you'll notice that the hole patterns on these arbors are all over the place. I've got some like this one here that just have this little pattern shape. No holes other than the 1 hole, and that's it. Others like this one have a star pattern, and again, no holes around the outside. Some have a circle with 4 points and then holes around the outside. This one has Kermit the Frog's pupil inside of it for some reason. This one has that same circular pattern on the inside, but then the 12 cutouts around it. Some have an open arbor, others are closed. So you get the gist, they're all over the place, and that begs the question, why? Why do we have so many different options? I actually hopped online and started keeping track of all of the different ones I came across, and I had to stop at some point, and the number I stopped at was 26. I found 26 different arbor patterns for these different oscillating tool blades. That's pretty ridiculous. I mean, I don't understand why there's so many. So I started researching more into the different groupings of patterns and why some brands go with certain types and other brands go with others. In an effort to get to the bottom of this, I took it upon myself to go buy pretty much every brand of multi-tool that I could get my hands on. I went to all the big stores, found everything that I could, and here's what I came back with. I've got a few of them here. Yep, just a few. And I've got a Makita here, a Craftsman, a lot of manuals to read through. Put these somewhere else for now. We've got a Bauer from Harbor Freight. We've got the Flex, which is a new brand if you haven't heard of them. New in power tools anyways. The Ryobi or Ryobi. We've got the DeWalt. And we've got a Milwaukee 18-volt Hart, which is the Walmart brand. We've got the Cobalt, which is sold to Lowe's, a Bosch, and this is a little bit more of a pro grade one, a Dremel. And last but not least, we've got the Metabo. And so I've got a few of these to compare and check out and see how they do. One of the first things I found is that this setup right here is called OIS, or Oscillating Interface System. This is by far the most common arbor pattern that you're going to find out there for these different blades. The next thing I noticed is that a lot of things call themselves OIS. So this is supposedly OIS, this is also supposedly OIS, and so is this, even though you will see some slight variations in each one of these patterns. Aside from the OIS series, there's also the Starlock series here. Now these are pretty interesting. This is a joint combination effort between Fine and Bosch around the year 2016, and they came up with this pattern in this series here. We've got the Starlock Standard here, the Starlock Plus, and the Starlock Max, and there are quite a few things about these that set them apart from other types of arbors. The first thing is that of the 13 brands I have in front of me, only 2 of these are actually capable of using the Starlock Plus or Starlock Max blades. The new kid on the block here, Flex, chose to go with the Starlock system, and then Bosch is one of the founders and creators of the Starlock system, so these 2 can use it. But even this one here, for example, this Bosch, this is only rated for a Starlock Plus. It cannot do a Starlock Max arbor. So for that, you need to have a tool that's appropriately rated for it. And out of all of the tools that I have, the only one that I have that can handle Starlock Max is this Flex tool right here. It's pretty crazy. So I've got all these blades that don't work with any of these, and supposedly that's because you need to have a tool that is equally powered to handle the actual blade. So the higher end or nicer the tool, or more capable maybe, stronger, I'm not sure what they're going for there, the tool has to keep up with that. So they're saying that this Bosch here, for example, isn't a good enough tool or strong enough or rated well enough at least to be able to work with the StarLock Max, but it can use StarLock Plus and StarLock. So kind of weird, right? Kind of an interesting little system that they've got going on there. But let's talk about why these are unique. Now, doing all this running around, getting all these tools and finding all these things is just a good reminder that trying to find balance in all of this can be really tough. And the first thing that gets cut off the priority list is physical fitness and staying in shape. And so that's where you end up with one of these bad boys. I've actually found 3 things that really help me to take control of my health. The first one, I got a bike and I'm on that thing every single day lately. The second thing is me and 2 of my buddies are on a challenge together, no soda for 6 months. And the third thing is trying to eat healthy, and that's where our sponsor for today's video comes in, and that is Factor. If you haven't heard of Factor, they're the easiest way to eat healthy and to do it quickly and without any hassle. It's not a set of ingredients, it's really just ready-made food that just needs to be heated up in the microwave for 2 minutes. Every meal is fresh and never frozen. If you want to learn more, head to go.factor75.com/learntodiy60 and use the code LearnToDIY60 to get 60% off your first Factor box. Again, that's go.factor75.com/learntodiy60, 60% off by using the code LearnToDIY60. And now, back to the multi-tool. These StarLocks have this unique bottle cap shape going on, just kind of looks like the top of a glass bottle, for example. And because of that, it's supposed to have maximum transferal of the force from the tool to the blade because of all the connection. If you look at the receiving end on the tool, it's also got the inverse of that bottle cap shape, so it should sit right in there. Speaking of seating these in there, they're really easy to work with because you can just push it in like that. In this case, for the Flex one at least, you close it off with this back lever here. On the Bosch multi-tool, you literally just have to push it into place, and it pops in and locks in. These little teeth here or jaws open up, and then that holds the blade in place. Very simple, and when you want to remove it, really easy. It just auto ejects. Check this out. Off it goes. So you just open the lever, it releases. When you want to put a new one on, just pop it in like that, and you're good. If you've got your different blades laid out in front of you, for example, you can literally just push down on it like that. It makes it super easy. Another benefit of being in charge of a whole system of interfaces like this is that you can control color coding. So these are actually all color coded, so you can quickly at a glance see exactly what type of material they're rated to work with. So we've got ones for wood specifically, ones that are rated for metal, ones that are all-purpose that can do metal, wood, and other materials as well, and even ones for softer materials like softer woods or softer plastics. One of the features I love about the Craftsman and DeWalt multi-tools is they feature this little trigger release system like this, which is really easy. Literally just pull the trigger and insert or remove the blade, just like that, super easy. But one of the caveats with that is that in order to use that, it has to have an open arbor. It has to be open on one end for you to slide it in. They did provide a backup plan for that though, and let's say I've got a blade like this that's totally closed. What you can do with that is you can use the little threaded screw here, but I'll tell you what a pain. Is this even worth it? So if I want to use this one here, I've got to, oh, see, this one doesn't work. It's too big. The hole for this one isn't compatible with this here, so I can't actually use that unless I want a fairly loose and sloppy fit. It's never going to work properly. A little bit smaller hole like this, or one with some teeth inside of it, I think we can get to work. But even with that, we have to take our bushing here and then the screw and try to line everything up. Go find the Allen wrench that came with it. Why this isn't part of the system, I'm not sure. I think that should definitely be on there somewhere. And then tighten it down. Let's see if this is the right one. Yep. Get my orientation correct, tighten it down, and if I can get the Allen wrench out, there we go. Now it's ready to go. But what a pain. Nobody's going to want to do that. So I love the quick fit, but if you're using a DeWalt and you want to use that trigger release, make sure to get something with an open arbor. If you were to take just a quick look across all of the different attachment methods we have for arbors on these different brands of multi-tools, there's definitely some consistencies, but there's a ton of inconsistency. The Hart brand here from Walmart is one of the cheapest ones available, but with that you have no easy way to insert or remove your attachments. And in fact, the attachments have to use this little threaded screw here, and then once you put that in, you've got a plus. You don't have the little 12 studs around for holding the OIS blades. It's just relying on that plus and hoping that that's going to match up with whatever pattern, which it usually will, but that's all you're holding on with. and then it'll do the job. But hopefully you don't have to change tools much, because if you have to change your blades on this thing, it's going to be a minute every time. The other thing I've noticed is that pretty much every Starlock blade, and that's not the Starlock Plus or the Starlock Max, just the basic Starlock one, is compatible with pretty much all of these tools. I haven't found any exceptions, but the reverse is absolutely not true. Any tool that uses the Starlock system has a cup in it, like this one here. And when it has that cup in it, that means a standard flat piece like this is not going to fit in. It's just not going to work. There's not enough to grab onto. Now, unless I'm mistaken on this, and someone please correct me if I'm wrong here, but I don't see any easy or convenient way to attach a Starlock tool to a non-Starlock blade. So as it turns out, because of this little adapter plate that comes with this rigid tool here, I can use this on the front, the back, or not at all. But if I use it on the front here with the 4 smaller inner circle studs here, I can take a Starlock or a Starlock Plus, and then it'll fit on there, straighten it out, and then it attaches perfectly on there, nice and sturdy. This doesn't have as much contact area or surface area touching as the actual Starlock devices do. So that's pretty cool that that little adapter ring makes all the difference. The only other brand I've seen that's quite as compatible is this Makita here. The Makita uses a pin system like this. You put that in, lock it down, and you're good to go. But it also comes with 2 adapter plates here. So I can slide this out, and then I've got 2 options here. The first adapter that it comes with is a little plus. This is for the Starlock Plus, and it just slides right onto those 12 posts and works great. And then this second adapter here is also available. It has that multi-sided star in the center of it and a fairly flat little top plate on here. And again, you can just put your piece on there, put that in, lock it down, and you're all set. So the next time you're out looking for blades or attachments for your multi-tool, be sure to check the arbors on them, whether they're OIS, open-ended, Starlock, or some other variation. And also check for the adapters that might be included with your multi-tool already to help you make any of these work. If you found this video helpful, you'll definitely want to check out this one here, where I go through all 5 features on cordless power drills and show you exactly how to use each of them. 82% of people don't use them or don't know how to use them, so be sure to check that out here. I'm Nils with Learn to DIY. Thanks for watching.